Okay, so I wanted to do this quick video on hiking shoes. So I have a couple different pairs here, and what you wear is going to depend on what kind of hiking you're doing or what kind of backpacking trip you're doing, and also just your preference, which is true for everything, really, is part of it's just figuring it out what works for you. So I wanted to start with these. So these are trail running shoes. They have a nice tread. But as you can see, they're really low cut, and these are great for kind of day hikes, scrambling around on rocks. Some people do really like doing longer trips on these or backpacking with these, but they do not have as much support. And for me, I also have a bad ankle, and so I need boots that are higher. And unfortunately, I actually don't have hiking boots that are more of a mid hiking boot, but if you go to any store, you can see them, and the boot comes to about here, and they're gonna be a softer boot. And so those tend to be more comfortable, they're easier to break in, but again, they're not gonna have the kind of support that a harder boot or a boot with a higher ankle support is gonna have. So these actually are a very hard boot, which is what I prefer. And one of the downsides of these is that they get really hot in the summer because they're not as breathable and they don't break in as easily. But these actually can be mountaineering boots, which means they also have a little spot to be able to put crampons on. So if I wanted to go in snow, I could wear them in snow. They're Gore-Tex, so they're waterproof, and they're pretty firm. And so I really like these, but again, my feet can get really hot in them. So it is nice to have a little bit of variety with hiking boots. And definitely you want to break them in before you go on any kind of backpacking trip, because once you are wearing them with weight and your feet are swelling because of the heat and because they're working, it's going to take some time for them to adjust to your foot. And so then I always bring these as well. So you can bring any kind of camp shoe to change into once you get to camp. These are also great. I love them because they're closed-toed, so I can wear socks with them, and they are waterproof, and so they're great for river crossings. They have the little heel hook, and so when you're doing a river crossing, you definitely want to have some closed-toed water shoes that you can, safely cross in and not get your boots wet. And these are super lightweight. And a really fun thing about these is that if you're floating down a river, because they float, they keep your feet up really nicely, which I discovered recently. So anyways, I wanted to share some of those. Obviously, you can do any kind of water shoe, but it is nice to have them if you're going to do any river crossings, or some sort of camp shoe that you can change into when you get to camp that are super comfy and lightweight and easy to throw in your pack. So that's an overview of some of the shoes. And again, the things that you want to think about are breathability, so the kind of material and whether or not they're breathable, whether or not they're waterproof, and whether they're a soft boot or a hard boot, and just the tread, making sure that they have some good tread on the bottom so that they grip to the rock. All right, have a great trip wherever you're going, or a great hike wherever you're going. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out and let me know, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.